this show, it was doing so well. I was really enjoying this season. It was really, really good. No elements of the last season that pissed me off were in this season at all. I was loving it. It was about action. It was about superheroing. It was about Kara trying to figure out how to be Supergirl and handle a new job as a reporter. It was about her and Superman working together. It was about bringing in Lana Luthor as kind of a help, and then Project Cadmus and all the stuff they're doing. And then it's like, as soon as Maggie got introduced, things started going downhill. And it has nothing to do with the fact that she's gay. That I frankly I don't care about. It's not something I support. It's not something I'm really going to try to. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. We can't have that. I don't care if it's in there. But whenever you try to make it such a big deal and actually make one of your main characters that way, and make her start thinking that way, and start, oh, maybe I am gay, and just out of nowhere too, like everything that I've seen about Alex from the first season has been she doesn't like anybody. It's not that she's not gay, it's not that she is gay. I just always saw her as a true agent, somebody who really gets into her job and never has time for any sort of relationship. So to have her all of a sudden just, oh, yeah, I realize now it's because I like women. You're telling me that just out of nowhere, you're telling me Maggie's the first woman that you've met that's gay, and that helped you realize, oh, maybe that's why. Because I've never felt anything for a woman until now, so it must mean the entire time that's that's why. You know what it is, and this is exactly why. I don't want to get too much into politics, but this is exactly why there's so much. If you look on social media, there's so much about Hillary. It's because Hollywood is very liberal, and even though this isn't really Hollywood, it's in Vancouver, you can still see that liberal agenda starting to get pushed more and more in TV shows. Except for, shockingly, Marvel. You see a lot of the Fox News jokes, but like you don't see a lot of the liberal agendas being pushed. Well, this show is a perfect example. CW has really started to really throw that in there. All of the liberal stuff, all of the race issues, all of the homosexual issues, all of this stuff is starting to take front seat in these shows. And this is the first show that I've seen it start to take precedence over the main storyline. Whenever this is becoming a bigger deal, because Alex is sitting there in DEO headquarters and Wynn's talking to her about the stuff, she's actually thinking about Maggie. Like, oh, Maggie. I realized that my adopted sister just got into a fight and nearly got killed because of these guys with alien guns, but Maggie. Oh. Really? And it's not even just that relationship, it's also the fact that they're pushing for Kara and Mon-El right now. And at first it was like, oh, maybe this is just them trying to work together to make him seem more human. Maybe that's what they're going for. No, by the end of it, it's the typical, oh, they don't get along, so obviously they like each other thing. It's the relationship stuff again. Jimmy, out of nowhere, with no sort of build-up or anything, just decides, oh, I want to be a vigilante now, because I have a black belt. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care about the relationship stuff. I don't care about Jimmy. I don't care about Maggie and Alex. I don't care about any of this stuff. I want to see Supergirl take on Project Cadmus. And whenever that's what it was enjoyable. Whenever that was on the screen, whenever I see Supergirl fighting the guys, whenever I see, at the very end, all of a sudden the lady from Project Cadmus walks in and is like, oh, it's Lena's mom. That's interesting. I kind of saw it coming by the way they were setting up that final shot. But still, it's interesting now that, oh, so maybe is Lena actually working with them, or maybe she doesn't realize her mom's in charge of Project Cadmus, or maybe she does, and that's why she's pushing so hard because she wants to stop her mom. Like, so many interesting questions raised from that. And that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to get more into. I want to get into that type of stuff. I want to start thinking about it and theorizing it. But the problem is, the entire episode is focused on either Maggie and Alex, Kara and Mon-El, or Jimmy being a vigilante. Those are the three storylines talked about the most. And then they threw in, oh, guys with alien guns. And even sometimes whenever it was the guys with alien guns, it was, oh, Jimmy's fighting the guys with alien guns. And somehow didn't die. I don't understand. I don't understand, one, why they're pushing the liberal agenda, two, why they're pushing the relationship stuff again, and three, why they're pushing this all sidekicks have to be able to fight. Because even the one really, really frustrating thing about all of this, once again, Wynn, probably my favorite character this pretty much over the 2 seasons. He's the funny guy, he's the common sense guy, but he's also really smart too. So it's like you can kind of relate to him. Well, when Jimmy starts telling him about, I want help, I need you to help me because I've got a black belt and I want to fight these guys, Wynn says no, because you don't always have to fight out there. And he starts talking about, being in the DEO, fighting behind a computer. And it's just like, yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that. But the problem is, it happened halfway through the episode, so they're having this conversation now. By the end of the episode, Wynn's going to have changed his mind. And sure enough, he does, and completely throws everything he said out the window earlier and says, fighting the fight, it's addicting. I understand where you come from. You just said you could fight the fight from behind a computer. You don't always have to fight out there. So why all of a sudden did you change your mind? Because the plot asked for it. That's it. That is absolutely it. And I don't understand why. Why this season that was going so well, why this show that was doing so well this season, decided all of a sudden, you know what, let's just throw everything out the window that we've been building up this season. From the first 2 episodes, even the third one still had a good, interesting thing going on. I can't remember. It's the 5th episode. I feel like it is. Of course, my phone's being slow right now. Ooh, Rogue One. I want to see that. Yeah, episode 5. That's what I thought. Crossfire, by the way. I started off this episode not saying the name, whatever. It's really frustrating because of how well the show was doing. Because I was really starting to get into it. Because it was really becoming one of my better shows on CW. Right now, The Flash is number 1 for me. Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl were fighting for 2nd and 3rd. And of course, Arrow is just kind of crap. So it was like Supergirl was right up there. I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe it's doing so well. I can't believe I'm actually starting to put it up there above Legends of Tomorrow, which I really enjoy. And then all of a sudden this episode comes in and just knocks it back down. Now back into 3rd. Still not as bad as Arrow. But the fact that they had to throw in all of these crap storylines for this episode and just really waste my time. Because frankly, I don't care about any of this. I don't care about the relationship stuff because that was focused on a whole lot the first season. I wanted them to back away from it. So the fact that they threw it in really pisses me off. The fact that they're backing this liberal agenda and really forcing it into the show where it's not even needed. It's one thing to, like I said, if they just brought Maggie in and she had a girlfriend, that's fine. But they have to make it where, oh, Alex seems to be interested. Oh, maybe something's going on there. Oh. And then all of a sudden, oh, Maggie has a girlfriend last episode? Okay, so they're not going that. Oh, Maggie broke up with her girlfriend at the beginning of this episode. I wonder where they're going with this. It was just so stupid and forced and out of nowhere. So, and then, like I said, the Jimmy storyline also very forced because out of nowhere he's just like, I want to be able to fight. Where did you get a black belt again? Did we see him fight at all in the first? We saw him punch one guy one time, I think. But all of a sudden, he's got a black belt, even though he clearly does not have a black belt. Because look at how easy the guys are taking him down. It's just like one punch. Oh, I'm done. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to hit you. It's just, I can't move now. He's such a bad fighter. I don't want Jimmy Olsen to be in the fight. I want it to be Supergirl fighting the bad guys, maybe with Martian Manhunter, maybe with Mon-El. That could be interesting. But Supergirl and Jimmy. And even dumber is that I expected something from Supergirl. I expected to hear, what are you doing? why are you putting yourself in harm's way? Why? He's like, well, I want to fight. And then her going, no, I'm not going to let you risk your life. But no, he steps in, tries to fight the guys at the end. Supergirl steps in, saves his life, and then Wynn and Lana work together to stop the bad guys. And we just see Supergirl and Jimmy going, that was funny. It was just stupid, absolutely stupid. So all of that bad stuff. The only good side of it is there are a couple good things. One, like I said, the stuff with Project Cadmus is interesting. The fact that we found out that the Project Cadmus lady is Elena's mother is really interesting. And I think the other thing that I wish they'd focus more on instead of the Kara and Mon-El stuff is Mon-El figuring out Earth. Because that stuff was freaking hilarious. You know, whenever he's sitting there and just not understanding anything, and some of the mistakes he makes, some of the whenever the Eve, I think is her name, the receptionist for Jimmy, she sees him and she's just like, oh my god. And all of a sudden, like, she's doing everything for him. And he's just like, well, whenever a woman wants to impress you on Daxam, you let her do your stuff. It's kind of funny because he's misunderstanding all of that stuff. He's misunderstanding everything. And kind of makes sense because he didn't. Kara grew up here, so she got to grow up and learn everything. So he's coming in completely doesn't understand anything at all, and seeing some of these customs and not understanding some of the human interactions and stuff like that. And probably the funniest part, Jimmy's like, "Oh, I sent him on a mission to do something like for paper or something like that," and Kara's like using her hearing to try to figure out where he is, and all of a sudden she hears panting noises and Eve saying, "Did you bring protection?" I'm just like, "Oh God, no." That was funny. That was really, really funny. I want to see more of that. I don't want to see the whole, oh no, Kara and him aren't getting along. Oh gosh, I wonder what that means. They definitely, Wynn makes the joke, oh, she wasn't, she's totally not into that guy, right? I mean, gah, that whole thing is really stupid. The stuff where he's misunderstanding and making mistakes, that's really funny. So I want to see more of that, less of that. I want to see more of the Project Cadmus, less of the relationship bullcrap, stupid Jimmy, all that stuff. They need to focus more on the good stuff. That was very few in this episode, and less on the stuff that was just absolutely stupid, absolutely forced in there. It's frustrating as hell, but anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about, discuss, all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Supergirl reviews. See you at the hopefully better next episode. Peace out.